building part. Alright, so basically, after Deadly's very smart idea, I actually went to do this, and I basically prepared it a bit and just removed like most of the 3, 4, and 5 stars. I just don't think we need to discuss at all. It had the highest CP. It doesn't have it anymore. We discussed that. Alright, so do we just go from like what's being shown? 3 star, 4 star, 5 star? Doesn't really matter, I think. Alright, so first unit Valencia, I think for the current season and especially for how we use it, it's basically mandatory now as an offense unit. Or would you put it into very useful? Yeah, yeah, I guess it makes more sense. Yeah, I guess there are other options that usually can replace her, so very useful makes sense in that regard. Yeah, yeah. It does, it really does. Alright, so I just didn't even move him. That was just a thing I don't remember whether he was used, so I just didn't put him away yet. But- well. See, that's basically back in the days, and that makes sense, right? Okay. Good, good question. I, I, I mean, we'll get to it once we get to it. So, AWABI, mandatory situational. I, I, I think in that case everything is situational, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. I mean, we can put them first, and then we can fully decide. Let's keep it like that for now. So like, Arby is basically situational, right? We right now just use him for that one Celine comp. Right, so yeah, with a Stena thing. Which is the very definition of situational. So hey Meru, that sounds like MLM, right? uh, yeah, that yeah, true. So Bazaar, would Bazaar reach situational? Wait, did we? What did you? I guess. I mean, I'm fine with MLM on that part because it's yeah, I guess. But it does sound like an MLM. Yeah, okay. Yeah, true. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, BM Haze basically. Best buddies. I mean, yeah, yeah. So, MLM or because because the thing is, yeah, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Because it's really like, I mean, it is an MLM, but like, if you do it properly, it's basically situational because it's just like it doesn't fail, right? MLM basically has a chance to fail. Oh wait, really? That's weird. Like, not even myself, or
Pretending to be nice the whole time.
however. Wait, that's weird. Should be. No, like I actually have the. Like, I can make you louder. Maybe that makes a difference. But
He's
you
speaking
should
into the void,
be.
you know?
Oh wait, actually. Oh wait. Wow. Actually, in that case, I think I might know what's happening here. Let me try this thing. This might work now.
Is anybody out there? Ah, perfect. See, now I hear myself.
You can hear?
Yeah, just hear myself.
I thought the stream's delayed.
I just heard myself ask the question. It's kind of weird.
Okay, so does it work now? Do I have to change anything?
I don't know, man. You're doing the stream.
Yeah, Shoeface says you can hear us now, so it works.
But I don't hear the stream itself because
it works now.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you can hear it.
Yeah. Okay, well, anyway. I never claimed to be a professional streamer anyway.
Of course.
And
15 minutes of talking to yourself.
Don't worry what we were talking about. It's all useless.
I mean, technically speaking, most streamers are just talking to themselves, right?
But this
No,
is
they're talking
yeah, but this is next level.
Yeah,
you're pretending that people are there that you talk to is different, right?
I mean,
you're not talking to the chat. You're talking to an entity that is somewhere else.
I mean, that's some skill, right? That I can hold those kind of conversations.
So
voice in my head.
Restart or Riot. I
Let's
think
go over each unit and what we talked.
Yeah, let's
quickly.
just go very quickly. Like Ewabi is a very useful unit, and Valencia too, because they are very good at. You can use them in a lot of comps, but at the same time, it's like you don't need them for most comps to win. Like you can probably replace them, so they don't reach the mandatory level. Situational is self-explanatory, I hope, and MLM it is also because like just look at the units. I mean, if you really need,
trash.
like if you really need a full explanation, sure we can go over someone again, but like those
as
units
a
right
couple of
now
units coming up, I have a
makes
feeling
sense.
we're gonna have more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Celine. Situation.
I'm gonna say situational.
I agree.
Yeah.
And
If you have a plus 30 sword storm,
Yeah.
situational.
Yeah, and if you like know what you're doing with that, and you know the opponents, that like if you can assume that there's a Landy and let's say an Aravi in the defense as the offensive options, and you know the Landy's highest attack and you can use her, but other than that, she's a bit of a random factor.
And you're not fighting TL1 comps with like weird speed tuning.
What?
I have no idea what you're talking about. What does MLM even stand
Terra
for?
moving left.
I think where Celine could stand out is if they have like some Ron comp with Celine and like a unit that doesn't do any damage, like Bellion,
Yeah.
like Ron or Para. So you just kill Celine off and then GG.
Yeah. So what does MLM stand for? Actually, I don't know what it actually stands for, to be honest.
It's multi-level marketing.
Multi-layer marketing.
Right. So these guys are much smarter than me for that. So yeah, it's basically just if you like what's going to happen later in the stream if there are certain people who try to push certain units or certain comps very hard for no reason at all. This is basically what I'm talking about. Or what MLM is going to be. Alright, moving on. Cerise.
Back in the day.
No,
Has this unit ever been used for offense?
are we looking at offense or defense overall? Because this unit is kind of garbage.
Actually, yeah, right.
For defense, there was back in the
Yeah,
day.
defense back in the day, offense never.
So,
Guild War off.
so
Yes.
do we want to split it in offense?
Okay,
Okay.
make a decision of what the deal is gonna be, because there's like 80 units we're gonna have to go through.
Yeah,
Offense is fine, I think. Because like we're talking about defense, and BMAs is not in situation.
yeah, true. Okay, makes sense. Makes sense. Alright, Samia.
And from TL1.
MLM.
MLM tier.
I think the only one that can really pull it off is they right now. Back in the days, it was used quite often.
thank
Oh,
you.
actually,
Can we add a band tier?
So I
Oh
can-
wait,
I-
I can add a band here.
And
Wait, where do I add one?
banned by Red.
Okay, it's
There's
not
gonna
by
be only
me.
2 units.
The
so-
units are banning themselves, right? They're
What do
just
you- what do
getting
you-
used. And then we see what the result is and they're
I don't
getting
think
banned.
units are banning themselves. I think the users are getting the units banned.
Hmm.
Band.
Red almost banned Emilia at one point, so...
Wait, what?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, that was when we kind of just failed with her.
People were using her as a healer.
Yeah.
So I mean,
We were just stupid, I guess. Back then.
yeah. So okay, so
Okay,
Cerise
put
is-
Sermia in band tier.
Yeah. Okay, you can basically put Cerise there as well because it's an RNG unit offense, right? This makes it much better.
I
I
mean,
mean, isn't it just like a non?
she's just in the Y.
Like we don't even talk about it then.
Yeah. Fine.
Okay, Charles,
wow.
was he ever like? Was he used back in
You
the
can-
day?
Back in the day.
In
Voss
offense?
uses
No.
Charles. Voss uses Charles in offense.
Because I only remember him in defense. So
Last season, there was one single guild war where MLM was into using Charles and he lost because of his Charles.
So it's an MLM or band.
It's definitely not a unit. I'm gonna go with white here. This unit's terrible.
Back in the day for the defense all the time.
Yeah, but we're in the offense tier list, right? So
Oh, it's offense?
Yeah, we changed the offense because defense. I actually have to take out some of these units like Dizzy.
yeah, we're gonna get there.
Maybe next time or later. We know. So Charlotte.
I
Situation.
Situation.
I think
She
has
situational
that
too,
one
yes.
spot to shine.
Because
like-
Charlotte basically upgraded from MLM to situational.
Remember when
She's situational, but really end next to situational.
Yeah.
It's the C. Lilius Landy Valiant comp, right? The
Or
Charlotte
Mirror
triggered.
now.
Yeah.
Area.
That's 2 teams where she shines.
Yeah, 100%.
Alright.
Everything else, she...
Okay, next hero is Shooks, right?
True, an offense.
I mean,
Almost today, best one time.
Yeah, I
Echo uses her.
an
Yeah,
offense.
do
It's the
what?
same as Berseria, so she can go into
Yeah, I feel like this is a unit that Baylor would use in attack, so it's an MLM.
that's so
I wouldn't even put this in any
As
list.
offense unit, it's MLM.
Yeah,
I feel like
for
it's
sure.
so awkward.
I mean, with the Valencia artifact, you might be a bit less MLM soon. But
Yeah.
She's just a blue DPS, that's it.
yeah,
Like,
Yeah, there's
she's
no
sort of
other options.
inconsistent.
that
but-
is true. Yeah.
She doesn't die to first breeze that comes to her way, and that's what makes her acceptable in any way, shape, or form. That's it.
Okay, this is a unit I want to see your guys' opinion on.
Well, I'm already focused. There's
Yeah,
only
this
one
guy-
tier. that
It's
is
got
gonna
them
go
out already. so-
Clearly banned, right?
I really feel this is a dark red, dude. This is a dark
Yeah,
red.
just put there. No, up.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, this looks good.
I don't have anything further after
Oh,
mandatory.
here, that release.
Isn't he like the same as APOC? Like,
No,
Hmm.
he does the same job that APOC does a lot better. The only comp where APOC's better than DC is against Cleave.
I think what DC has is like DC has like these certain scout comps where like, oh, he's like mandatory if you want to scout safely. It's like really nice. So,
That makes sense. Like, it's basically often the discussion between using those two, right? But it's like, one is
where with APOC, like there's no real comp where it's like mandatory. You need APOC, right? To scout this.
Yeah, especially with the new Destina, Iseria, MLM. This is the MLM part of the comp. And DC is really good.
yeah.
Like,
Alright.
God tier good.
I mean, we can go back to it if we see that the other mandatory are just above him, so maybe. But we'll stay. With
There's
this for
probably
now.
not one. Okay, there's one unit I can see being above him, but we're gonna get to that
Yeah.
if I look at the list a lot later.
So
Okay.
DJ Bazaar.
I think DJB is a very useful unit.
I think he's
I'm gonna say it
situational.
now.
Because he can only do exactly one thing, this is counter para.
But like, I think DJB is like the strongest unit after you scout out like a low HP para. Like he's the strongest unit after. a
Maybe
low HP
situational,
para.
but the
Yeah.
best in this
The
situation.
best situation is fine. I don't like very useful. Because then I think very useful is a unit that you can bring into multiple scenarios, and this hero counters Baron.
Yeah, I would agree with
Sure.
that. Like, very
Okay.
useful should be, like, more than one comp you can kill with it, right?
Yep.
Oh,
That's true.
Delivered. Basically. Situational, right?
I
Those
don't know about
MLM.
situational even now.
I mean, we successfully used previous season, this season not so much, so... Situational somewhere in the middle between, like, Selena and...
I think she's behind Bazaar and situational.
She's like
No.
next to RB. Like,
Really?
she's using those like suicide comps of like Dilibit RB +1.
Yeah, I think on the left side somewhere.
Okay.
I mean,
Sure.
alright.
I think BMA is better than RB, but maybe that's just me.
I think BMA's is next to DJ Bazaar too, yeah.
Hmm.
Because like right now he's in a really good spot because of how many comps he can be used for.
No. I can live with that. I don't think
Yeah.
anyone has, like, something against it. Alright, there's Tina.
That's your
So, in my
specialty, man.
personal opinion,
That's your opinion.
Oh, let's see.
obviously mandatory. Like, no. No,
Like
but
depending
I mean,
on your answer, I'm gonna move it to Sermiat here.
So, I mean, technically, at her current state, it's MLM.
I think she's in a situational pick. Like
I guess
she
that's
doesn't do
like-
anything best except for resist in the first turn, be a green healer that actually pushes and cleanses. That's what she does. It's very
I think
situational.
overall in this season she's gonna be more useful than Bazaar.
Yeah.
Okay. Was the DC comp, yeah.
Yeah, true. Oh, copy. So, DN.
Okay, that's back in the day
Back
unit
in
for
the
me.
day.
That was the
buff,
that was
obviously.
the OG comp Brad introduced me to.
I never
DN.
got to use that
Maya
comp,
doesn't
actually.
feel.
I never
real.
got to use the DN comps because I got her so late. I
Shout out
didn't
Lopty
have
for using
stuff for her.
that.
He copied me.
Oh really? Oh.
When the game came out and Diane came out, the only comp I ran every fucking guild war was Clury, Diane, X God. Every single guild war. That was just the best.
Not
Giga
gonna
chat.
lie, DN was a unit I quit the game back in the day because I didn't get her. I was like 3 away from pity or like whatever it was back then. And I just got so annoyed I quit the game. Came back a few months later. But
Okay.
that hurt,
Yeah.
that one. Alright. Ida.
What do you think, Deadly?
Very
Back
useful.
in the day.
Very
Back in last season.
Yeah. Back
banned,
in
She's-
last season.
banned
She's
now.
still like one of the best cleave units. We build our defenses to like not insta die to Ida, and yeah, no one else really does what she does.
I
Yeah.
kind of agree. It
I
was very
agree.
useful on her. To be
And
honest.
the Ida cleaves are like good into so many different comps,
That is true.
as long as you can outspeed.
I mean,
So
like once you have the speed info, like you know you can outspeed, then it's basically 100%,
Or, like,
right? Because
you
it's
know,
cleave. Like you know how
Yeah.
cleave works. In theory, at least.
As scouting, you can't guarantee like thieves.
but it's not a scouting tier list. It's just an offense in general, and she's good.
I really doubt any one of us is actually going to scout with either.
well,
I mean, because if it was scouting, you can't have like any crit base units above like MLM.
Yeah. The Snow Crystal out that's true, yeah. I think she's not like the highest on the very useful list, but she's a very useful
You can
unit.
put her
I-
like between Bazaar and
No, I think she's better.
Is better. Yeah.
better. But Bazaar is more useful this season than Ida.
But he's
Because
still
you used him
great.
once, I don't know. I think Eda's in the
It
correct
is like
tier.
the cleave core, and Basar is just
Agreed.
Bazaar
a
is
unit you
great
take
for-
into para.
Most of the
Isn't
people
he kills
follow
Para?
up with Bazaar successfully.
Let's keep her in here for now at the end and then see whether she has moved down or not.
She basically carried me all of last season.
I mean, that proves her worth, right? Like 100%. Sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Cool.
Alright, Elena. Situational?
Okay, this is
MLM.
Back in the day.
no. Wait. Okay, look. Okay, I'm gonna say a hot take on this unit, right?
Okay.
This is situation.
This unit is really good. This is also the only unit in this list so far that no one of us has built.
I have
What?
a
I have
Elena
it.
built.
Okay,
We have them all
I'm
built.
working on wrong information.
What are
Okay,
you trying to say?
I'm saying no one I know has her build in
Oh,
tier
You know
1,
me.
right? I never looked through your account this closely, but I think whenever someone brings this unit against my defense, I'm very jealous. I don't have her build, but I don't want to build her. So I think situation is good.
I just
I-
built her because I know your defense gonna spread.
I feel like she's an MLM unit, as in she works in like certain comps very well, but I don't know. She might be situational used, yeah.
Let's put it in situation for now.
I
Not
think
really
we
working
should
out
cover
for
Bazaar.
Kyoto against me today.
But no one in
Between
tier
Bazaar
1.
and Destin, I think.
But no one uses Elena in tier 1. How can I
But
say
It
it's
still makes her a situational unit. Like, are we making a tier list for us or more what we think is overall the unit's value? Because I think she's exactly where she needs
Well,
to be now.
against us, like people successfully used her.
Yeah, all the time.
Not Kyoto today.
I mean,
Yeah, asterisks.
I mean,
Shout out Kyoto, dude.
wasn't
Tier
it
2
useful
player.
like half the time against you so far?
And it lost like 3 times.
Oh,
Yeah, sounds situational.
I feel like this is like an 80% unit, like an 80% win rate unit, but yeah, it's just my opinion.
Which is funny because 80% is actually really bad in our perspective. Alright.
Okay, then.
Erfeld.
I have no idea.
This is back
In
in
the
the
day.
day.
Back in the day, I know she was
successfully
used.
using her
I
sometimes.
thought you used Elfeld today, no?
When Cerise meta was the thing on defense.
Yeah, also Laros used her a lot.
Okay, so back in the day then.
Oh, now it's a good unit.
Oh.
I use her a lot too, but it wasn't in tier 1.
Especially after patch notes.
Yeah, exactly. After patch notes,
Mandatory.
I think this unit's gonna be above DC tier,
For
but only for
bench-
PvE. Yeah.
For bench
Wait, let me add
You don't have bacon.
a volunteer up there.
No, please.
So,
Shout out my guy, bruv.
I mean, basically, it's back in the day now. Starting from
That unit is never back in the day. That's just that unit is
for,
just
for
awful.
profits back in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That unit is
saying.
just awful overall. It was never a good unit. It's just terrible. In the Y tier with Charles, that's where it belongs.
Feels
Yeah.
bad, man.
And move it to Y probably.
Yeah.
F10A, banned unit.
It's just Y tier as well. Like, not
Yeah.
used on offense.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We have the defense core of a few seasons ago here.
Yeah.
Gotta put Arby there.
But it's often, so back to Y.
So, FCC.
It's a
Oh.
situational unit.
I mean, she is, but like, do we actually use her at all anymore?
I think back in the day she was used
I think
more.
yeah,
I
got
feel
maybe
like she was
back
more
in the
back
day,
in the day.
like for Celine teams, like she protector of Celine.
Not that Pillis and Trozit are out, like she's like the
Yeah.
third option.
I mean, Pill is really
Probably
just
they always
eclipses
played,
being tanked.
especially Crosset was in the game. But
So, Flan.
Oh,
this one,
She's situational.
I
Very.
think she's situational pick and better than like
if you don't need
Bazaar.
souls, she's technically better than Aelots. Like for Luna Cleave, but you need like a little bit faster Luna.
Baylor's asking to show the Y tier.
I mean, the white tier is basically.
Can you put
just-
Baylor in the Y tier? Is that possible?
I think I can create a hero somewhere here. But
Pillis
yeah.
gonna be pissed. Since he's gay there.
Well, alright, Etheria. Well,
MLM. Actually,
Yeah,
is that even considered MLM now?
Yeah, it is an MLM. I
Currently-
remember
currently
2 seasons
it
ago
is.
when HP Bruisers were all the rage, we used some weird Sinji Iseria's Trace comm, where we used Sinji and his Tracer's tree, then Iseria to red with a Trace and kill
Yeah,
another
yeah.
unit. That shit was interesting, but still an MLM for sure.
yeah. Nah,
Now maybe we're gonna be at least situational if we're gonna keep using the DC.
Okay, but we're doing a momentary snapshot, right?
I mean, she's at the top of MLM right now. She might actually get.
I think she's at the
situational.
top right now. Jugs.
So
banned.
that's clearly back in the day.
This is a unit that is now replaced by the good-looking blue unit in very useful.
Back in the
Sage.
day.
Okay, Weiss? Okay, I wasn't here for the SS situation. Okay, go ahead.
So, Kimeric, is he actually used in offense? I wasn't sure.
No.
Not really.
No,
You
What?
can if you force him, but so it's
Just
more
asking.
like it goes into.
I
Okay,
wasn't sure
I'm-
because we've seen it in defense. I wasn't sure whether.
I
anyone
just want to
actually
say
used
that
offense.
shout out here. The shout out to Ricardo, who used to be in Tele 1. He always used Carrick. That's why he was called Carry Rick. And so I would go with back in the day would also be acceptable at least. But this unit is very MLM-ish.
I mean, might as well.
I feel like
we
he-
have a tyrant in back in the day because one person used him once. So
Sure, put him back in the day.
Sure.
all right,
Care.
K1.
I used Karen once this season.
Wait, you
But
did?
For real?
Oh,
Yeah.
for all. Then you knew that RB slow.
It was to kill RP.
I mean, it makes sense.
So
I guess.
basically, any unit could work there.
So it's basically
I don't know.
white here.
I used to use Karen a lot, and in my interview, I suggested a Karen comp. I'd
Yeah.
say it's back in the day.
Back in the day, he's
day
just a
makes
Karen
sense,
comp.
right? I think we actually did use him.
He's like an RB replacement.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
fine with back in the day.
Back in the days, they're like units we just used to use.
I mean, that's literally what it is, right?
He also like
I
probably
guess.
can be MLM tier into that Brisseria cheese. He can completely replace him.
Yeah, but no, like he can't. The reason why the Bazera works is because she's neutral and no one will not target her.
Yeah,
But mostly Pera are gonna target him anyway.
Okay.
Back in the day is fine, I think.
There's a lot of units coming up.
Thanks for the follow. Yeah, we still have some.
I'm waiting for the Broman evaluation.
I mean, some of them are just skippable.
Holy
I
shit.
just kept some. I just kept some, which is are skippable, but I mean, might as well.
Sure.
So, Kize. back in
Hot
the
take.
day?
I don't think Issei deserves to be in this list anyways. I don't think she's
Okay,
like,
this is the
more
but in
offensive
the end
than
it's the same tier as Kaverick because Teddy is big simp back
Ah.
then. Remember the
true.
days of Lilius, Kiese, Ruel, because I do. I come check this shit so often. I remember.
Dude, Teddy is the most insane Issei I've ever seen. Once saw it, dude. It's like 5k attack, 350 crit damage or something like that. Built that
So
crazy.
it's
ass
MLM tier, like because there's only one person in force.
But the same thing as Kaverick then, so I think this is the fine tier. No one will use this unit anymore.
Back
no.
in the day is fine. I don't
Back in the
think we-
days, just I guess like yeah.
Back in the day is basically our memories. Like someone once used them, so yeah, they are back in the day.
Or a couple of times.
So this guy,
Oh yeah.
I think that's pretty obvious. Where he's
It's gonna be difficult.
Banned.
Yeah, clearly the band unit crowd that nobody uses. here.
Probably the best Guild War unit in the game, yeah.
And always being consistently good without a single nerf or buff or E or anything.
And
Yeah.
he was literally created perfect for Guild
His
War.
kit's perfect, yeah, everything about him perfect. Just a gorgeous unit.
Yeah.
Anything
Landy.
else to add about him? Nothing.
Very situational.
Landy?
At least like
I think she's an
there is
MLM.
that one team like with
Oh,
Valencia.
MLM is difficult.
I think Landy's MLM.
I think
Okay, if you talk about Shino, then definitely. He chipped at MLM so hard, I
Oh,
agree.
right,
I'm gonna
right,
put
right.
it at MLM.
Now that you say that, right.
But I think Landy's better MLM than Aimer.
Yeah.
I mean,
And he's like
Yeah.
okay into shoe, so I put it in situational.
It depends. If you get counterattack,
Yeah,
then no.
in that one, in some teams like she can replace Valencia.
Yeah. Oh, she's really good into this weird Celilius Rem Celine team, but no one has it in defense anymore except for some top
thanks
500
for the
guilds. So.
follows.
But then I feel like she's bottom of the barrel
I mean-
for situational picks.
Right now, I mean,
I think it's more
you
use
could, you could
use than
plan.
plan.
Yeah, that's what I would say. Like Flanders, like
Okay.
free. All right. LRK. That's
Back-
literally
back
back
in
in
the
the day,
day.
right? Like big.
Oof.
back in
Third-
the
That
day.
unit dropped off so hard, it's
Raul,
insane.
I think LRK is the best back in the day.
I
though.
remember
Yeah.
when he was used, I was so jealous of every single person
Same.
who had him. It was
Yeah.
insane how good he was. Yeah.
This hero dropped completely off the earth. I don't know what happened, but Double Crow Royale used to be like a staple comp, and now it's nowhere. This unit is unusable.
Well, the reason why is because Cerise fell out of mana, right?
And everyone brings an opener with this build that actually also unbuffable or some shit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That's right.
Pyro's just unbuffable. It's over for him. Like, what's he supposed to do?
I like his job was to counter like RBs and like death breaks from Cerise and like stunts, so he lost his job.
Yeah.
It's hopeless.
Sad. Very
Oh,
sad.
Got him after all of that, built him and never used him.
Alright.
He rode away on his motorcycle with your molars.
Well, I mean,
Lilius.
Oh.
so
This is my MLM.
I know
What? It always worked. I basically never lost.
I think she's.
I think
pretty
it's a melon.
good. Like when she was used as APOC, like Lily's APOC, and like what was the
Or at
thing?
least
Acadius
next
was
to
the last
Crown
unit,
back in
Right.
the day.
I mean, she's
think she
minimum back in the day high tier, but right now,
It was when people were putting AOL on defense.
Yeah, I think Lily's
Yeah.
is really strong into
It
AOL.
was
but
really
that's it.
good with the Ravi, like.
Yeah.
So that makes her situational now. Technically.
I mean, not now.
Well, back in
anymore,
that day,
right?
we never
Yeah.
using like. I'm
Like,
Fair
if you want to use them now, it's basically MLM.
Okay, it's an MLM, sure.
There's another Fire Knight that's just kind of better now.
Yeah.
Oh, ARS, right.
So Lilibet, was she back in the day for
You
you?
know
I
the
think
steer-
it's white.
Yeah, I was gonna say. units,
Because I
sorry.
know there was a big MLM in tier 2 back in the day with a tank Lilibet to kill armies, which was kind of funny.
Yeah, but Abish just died to sits now if you really wanna be facetious about it.
I feel bad for Brav because he's
Everything is white.
He'll
Why
understand.
or banned?
Well, I wonder what the next unit will be.
Oh, this is actually now that you mentioned this, I know exactly where this unit's gonna go, but you guys can discuss it before.
So technically,
There's only one tier for this unit. I hope you guys don't
technically speaking,
disappoint
she was
me.
back in the day. I know we used
No.
her.
You know,
That
for you,
That unit is only in
scrub
one
viewers,
tier.
dude, you scrub
After
viewers use
Scouten
LPC all
was
the
back
time,
in the
but-
day, and now it's banned.
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
that's the one. That's my guild. I like it. Banned. This unit is banned. It's garbage. Hot shit. Awful. I hate it.
And because we just banned her, we're going to her new, better, improved version, basically. With a Luna. Is Luna situational right now?
Actually, she might be useful. Very useful unit.
I
feel
use her more for sure than like Landy or Charlotte.
Like, I would definitely give
I
her,
will
like,
put her
middle
next to Green
situational.
Celine. at
I'd
least
put
for
her
now.
ahead of Celine. I'd put her ahead of Celine.
Yeah, I think she's a good unit.
I mean, she's good, but I don't quite know.
Because of Music Box and Snow Crystal, she's kind of tough to pull
Yeah.
off. But
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these units are rather tough.
This is
and
more like a
scouted.
non-scout unit, but it's a really good unit when she's scouted, and you have to
Like,
ride.
as a follow-up, it's basically guaranteed.
yeah, she was really strong.
Oh, by the way, I missed one chat with a Gunfa, Gunter, Lilius, mandatory. Well,
That's OP on defense.
I'm not sure whether that
OP.
even, not
That's
sure
a
whether
given
that
that.
even reached the MLM port for us back in the day.
Oh boy, that's gonna be. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So that's
Maid is.
This goes right next to Lilius in my bunch.
I really like Maid, but I think she's MLM too. Yeah.
Look, this whole MLM tier, it looks a lot like Eisen's account. Both the Iceras are there, and Maid's there, and Lilius is there as well. It's like perfect.
so, that makes
He's
sense
an
then, right?
LOTL one number, by the way.
Alright, so MLK.
Strong back in the day, I think.
Banned.
Oh, he's banned for sure. This unit's horrible.
Is he banned currently?
I know.
No, but if you're discussing it, I'm gonna ban him.
Mio and Brever actually use him, but
It's
I
back in
banned
the
his
I mean,
day,
he's
you know.
definitely back in the day at least. Like I would.
Like
I
against
bet
Landy,
that's
double fire and him.
Yeah, Lenny double fire, I guess him.
Yeah.
I despise Emo Candy.
Also, hello to all the viewers that just joined us,
Oh yeah.
especially Zenit1.
I wonder who that
Yeah.
guy is. Has to
Yeah,
be good.
I know
has to
that
be a
guy
good
is.
person. Alright.
Alright.
Medwick, media.
Hot take, mandatory unit. Hot take, dude.
I would be.
It's not a hot take. He is mandatory.
Because I'm pretty sure
Oh.
all of us agree. Like, if you have him, you have him built because we use him.
Oh yeah, okay, never mind.
Just look at the pins in tier 1 and all those comps use him.
Okay, but would you put him ahead of DC? Is the question.
No.
Yes.
Hello,
What?
new people.
Because I have hand guy and I don't have DC.
Same, I agree.
You are
with
just biased.
Yeah, it's biased.
I mean, I'm fine.
yeah,
I'm fine with both, to be honest.
I feel like they're equal in terms of like usefulness, but
For different things, they are like best in slot.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
we can rediscuss mandatory. I don't think mandatory is going to be
Oh.
that big, right?
Let's say Kraus mandatory into any Guild War defense then, yeah?
Kraus is
green
the
units.
best, but they're
Yeah.
like behind him.
He's got like a timeless kit now. Like if any debuff unit's ever good on defense,
That
he's
is
gonna be
true.
good.
Unless it's gonna be starting like 2-turn silences.
Yeah. Like Broman, that's the guy I talked about earlier, right?
Buff
If
my
anyone
man.
puts Medwick into defense, I'm gonna put Broman into offense.
Alright.
That's the good shit.
So,
Alright.
Melissa, back in the day?
What?
Yep.
No.
It killed Rylet back in the day.
There's
right?
What's
only-
MLM?
Okay, this is some hot top 150 tech, right? We're talking about, and the only guy I've ever seen in tier 1 using is
Laros.
Laros.
Yeah,
That's the only
I
guy,
think-
and he's frustrated how shit she is.
Okay, but that does define back in the day, doesn't it?
Kinda. Like if we put Gaverick there, I think.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, like, if we have him here,
Okay.
right?
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it.
Why is Mort?
Yeah, mods? Why?
Why is Mort here?
I think
Put him in-
Baylor used successfully a few times, no?
I think MLM
You know
Okay.
what?
is fine.
I think he's MLM too.
I think MLM
This
is
is like
fine.
MLM at the
Okay, but like he's more like a definition of an MLM. Whenever you are on
Yeah.
Twitch, and some people are saying, "Oh, what unit should I be using?" Mod. Exactly, MLM.
Yeah, big MLM unit. Like, I remember I used him last season for that one stronghold fight and was like, literally any Green Knight could have done the same. He just existed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, Upsig.
Oof.
Is she
Okay.
still very useful or is
That's
she situational by now?
She's
Very
situational.
What?
You think she's only situational now?
How often have you used her this season?
The thing
think
is with
she's,
Snow
like,
Crystal,
after-
like with Snow Crystal, she just
She's after
can't
BMAs,
go-
Demo.
She just can't
That's what I
go
would put
above
on.
situational for me anymore.
Man, rip Opsig. I feel like
Yep.
she used to be like a literal mandatory unit, and now she's like.
That was last season because she was the unit to kill Wayang
Yeah.
relatively safely, but now that Snow Crystal exists and we have a really good Wayang counter, I think she's just situational.
Yeah.
Feels bad, yeah. You're right.
Like I was close to putting it to MLM tier. That's how I'm thinking.
No.
Nah, I think she still reaches situation.
Next season, we'll make a list again. We talk.
Pavel is a very useful unit. I think.
Nah, damn it.
He's very useful if you can make him fast enough.
No.
Yeah.
No. I'm the biggest Pavel sim here, right?
I would
And this
put
guy is in maximum situational.
I would be fine with situational.
But if
Very useful
Ida
is
is like,
over
hard.
Basara.
if Ida is a very useful unit, like
Well,
Pavel
Ida,
is like
but
one of,
Ida
like-
Ida's
is
more usable than
useful.
Pavel.
Yeah, much more.
Because
you can use it with a lot of
Ren,
openers.
You can use Ren and Para, but with Pavel you have to be able to make a fast Pavel. And that's not...
So you think the gear requirement is just too much?
I think so. Like,
Even if you have the good gear, you're still not really. How confident do you need to be to bring into like a Ran defense?
like,
325, 327 is not going to be possible.
Well, Ran is a different story.
like literally it's like so the comp I used against like on Wednesday, it was like we were thinking about Pavel. But there were like multiple questions including can I even be fast enough? So situation.
Okay.
Also, so Ida is good in she works into Rimru and Meru, and Pavel doesn't.
I think he is fine.
He works, but only once.
Okay, sure.
So Politis feels like back in the day for me.
This is,
Because we used her in the cleave with
yeah, I think back in the day is the best I would give him.
I think back in the days, or when Red used to use her into like as like her full DPS Politis
yeah,
into like some.
like I remember we used
There was
Politis
against
for
with
Pavel
Iola,
cleave.
there was some sort of
Yeah.
So
Same tier as Lilius, basically.
I could argue she could be MLM for that one time where you like tried to use her red, but that's my opinion.
MLM. I mean,
Oh, yeah. Talking about M&Ms. No, this unit is in a back in the day unit for sure for me.
Fire Ravi?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Fire Ravi. But also Politis. But I don't make the decision here.
I mean, we're clearly discussing stuff. So, well, we're clearly back.
This is
Where
like
would you put her?
nobody gonna judge you whatever you're gonna put her basically.
Okay, mandatory.
Why is Ryla here?
We have to put some units into white here, you know?
Shout out favorable.
I mean,
To the bottom he
thi-
goes.
I think he's white tier, yeah.
Oh no, actually he's in the band tier. That's exactly where I would put him.
yeah,
Band
that's what I
before.
said. Like, I feel like
This unit is...
Ryla?
because of
This unit, remember...
Ask him, nobody use him, so
No, that's not true. Mio used them a lot. That unit is terrible.
like the funny part
Feels
is
bad.
like a valid in white tier is basically like technically better than being in a band tier. Because here it's like, why would you do it? But here it's like, just don't do it, right?
Yep.
sure.
Okay, the next unit though
Yeah,
is
I have a clear opinion on this
I
one.
feel like that's actually.
I
I think it's mandatory.
It's
I
like-
think
my
Best
question
Soul Weaver
would
in the
be,
game
like,
for Guild
where
War,
in
yeah.
mandatory
I
is she?
don't think she's ahead of Kavik or DC though. I think she's a mandatory unit
Yeah.
though.
I
Don't think she
is
can
ahead.
compete with the others?
She goes above Darkovis if you list him like this. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's
Like, she's literally good in almost any defense that has any AoE.
yeah.
And if they
That's
bring some
very
co-op unit like Celilla, it's just
Like, that's
it's
just
doomed.
so much value.
I feel like all these mandatory units just have like this one niche that like is very like universally used, and they're just crazy good at
I
countering
mean,
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
like mandatory. If I had to put it into words, I would say like extremely perfect, basically for that niche.
Like, you
or
can't-
you can
you
use
can't
them
really-
for everything.
You can't compare them except Crow. Crow's the best. That's just my
I
opinion.
mean, you could make the argument about Eula.
Oof.
So
Yeah.
well, that's where
Very
it's
useful.
Very
which
useful
mandatory
between
are only
Valencia
very
and
useful.
Yeah, very useful to you.
Yeah, right.
I think so too. I think she's better than Valencia in terms
yeah,
of
between
Yeah.
Valencia and Iravi.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, I
that
agree.
makes sense. Okay,
why is
so
Sage Ball here?
Oof. Okay.
Good
Okay,
question.
okay.
Why?
Wait. No. This guy, for me,
Yeah.
at least is a back in the day unit, because when I
Almost
started private
Sage
cleaving,
Ball.
when I started
I
private
know.
cleaving, I wanted to. I used him with a book, so he's at least for me he's a back in the day unit. But I'm
I
totally
agree.
okay with him being in the white here as well.
I
He's
I
mean,
agree
like
with
the
that.
book, a light book holder for like
doesn't-
Pavo into Rylet.
yeah. I mean, basically, back in the day is like for everything we use once, but it's also like half of them are Y at the same time, but like we at least did use them, right?
If this were deadly, he'd try to still force Solitaria into Rylet.
Ooh yeah, this is gonna be the good shit. This is good
Alright.
discussion coming up.
SSB. I'm
Oh.
personally, because I really just love using her, I would be for mandatory. But I see why you would want to argue for very useful.
I don't think SSB is even very useful right now. I think she's the top of the situational picks right now.
I think he's like same level as Apoc and Valencia as like a DPS that you can take into a lot of comps.
Like I feel,
Current meta?
I feel like SSB and Valencia, like for a lot of comps, are basically the same unit.
Yeah,
Go
I
by-
think so too.
Comps.
I don't see like
If
much
you go-
SSB usage, but it's
if you
she
go based
definitely
off,
not
like,
more
her,
used than
Like
either.
timeline, yeah, she's good.
But
But
we're doing an observation now, right? Not a timeline
Yeah.
discussion for this tier. This tier has to be very useful now and overall, because else you
Right
could put
now.
some
Because,
Momo
like,
in there as well.
if
For
we-
very now, I think SSB
she's a situational pick. Yeah.
You think?
I think she's the top of
At
the
least very
situational
bottom of the very useful.
Yeah, she's better than Edda for me.
This season,
No,
yeah.
Ida is like, if you're talking about this season, Ida shouldn't be very useful.
Mm.
She is for like follow-up attacks. It just
Well, Bassar also amazing, like in the most follow-up attacks, so but
I-
he's
I
in
mean-
situation.
But Bazaar count as only one unit still, and Edda can be used into anything. They can.
Yeah.
There is a lot of conditions has to meet you use either.
Yeah, like
I feel like
SSB
You
as
have
well.
to have insane speed gear. For Bazaar, you don't need insane speed gear.
I feel like SSB lost her job to Lermia. To be completely
Sure, but
honest.
Lermia ownership kind of makes it hard.
Sure, right. But
I'm going to put it on top of situational for now. We might get back to it.
That sounds good.
So, Senya. She's
Oof.
getting a buff.
Yo2 has some very strong opinions about
She's
this.
getting a big buff.
There's
I
only
saw
one
it,
specific user.
I saw it like she's
Alright.
banned for them.
the king of MLM, Senya, in my opinion.
That unit is just horrible. I don't know.
King of MLM.
Honestly, I think with the buff she could reach
For defense
situational.
purpose, she got nice buff, but for offense.
Yeah, but we're not talking about defense here.
Yeah, this unit is definitely okay. If someone would propose to use her, I would put her in the ban tier. But she's not back in the day, so MLM is.
Tell me one time someone actually proposed a Senya comp check where they weren't low-key trolling.
I used Senya last season against Celine.
People use her to bait strays. That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used her last season to both bait strays and to kill Celine. Like, not often, but I did.
But strays is like 0 usability now, so
I mean, that's why it's MLM to use her now.
yeah.
So, Cess is it. Back in the day,
Why?
for
No.
what I remember,
Why?
what I remember he was back in the day. For
That's bomb
Cess
by
to-
that game, like.
There's that one guild that used Sezbomb all the time.
Yeah, this Asian guild. Yeah,
I
makes
mean,
sense.
Now it's not back in the day, but back in
It's a
the
Y unit. That unit was never used by any professional guild.
This guy saying Bear says, shaking my head.
Oh, this is the biggest assassin I know. This is Rinaki from former TL3. I know him.
Rest in peace, bro.
I remember you. I remember you from Soccer Spirits. Alright, Sigrid.
Situational, my
Yeah,
opinion.
situational for sure.
My
I think she
question is
goes
just
somewhere
rare.
between Luna and
Yeah, I think Luna and her are like the
Other.
same category.
yeah.
I think this is fine.
Silverblade.
Well, big
Mandatory,
MLM in my
baby.
opinion.
Mandatory.
Oh yeah, now it's the good shit.
If I would be like TL1 guild leader, she would be banned tier list.
No. No, don't do it.
Like, isn't her only
This unit is not an
use
MLM. This unit is really weird.
What about that one guy who used to use her all the time in TL1?
David Oy? Yeah, that's the one.
But wasn't she actually used a lot for like Bazaar SBA back in the day?
Yeah, but the Bazaar SBA is 10 comp against the FCCT Surinlandi, that was really good. So it's a back in the day unit for me, but it's the worst one.
worst one? I mean, those units we have in back in the day are really not that good.
Okay, if you want to put it somewhere, then put it above Elfeld, but put Karen above Elfeld as well. Elfeld's just a weird unit.
I would put A Tyven also in the pack, dude.
Yeah, A-Time is...
Bad.
Yeah, put here time in.
I mean, those units are for me all like, I don't really rank those.
these are basically the units that you
Back in
put
the day,
Molas
like,
in.
random order.
Yeah. Alright.
So,
Ooh, this is a rough MLM.
I honestly think this might
One
be
shot in
MLM.
K rounds on defense. It was a thing.
I remember him as back in the day, to be honest. Like, in
Okay.
those tiers.
Yeah, somewhere where Melissa is. Fine.
Yeah.
Alright.
Alright. So, Deadly, do you want to...
Mandatory.
MLM.
Mandatory MLM.
Won't say anything wrong here. This
I'm
unit's
gonna
god
say-
tier.
She's situationally really strong into some comps, but that's it. That's it.
Okay, let's say
Yeah.
if the next half a year they're gonna release 5 focus units, they're all gonna be good in defense. This unit's gonna be in mandatory tier, but currently she's not,
Yeah.
and she's in the MLM tier for sure, right?
Very low in situation also.
I
I
think
was gonna
she's-
go MLM, but
No, I think she's
I
situational,
think
but
situation
behind,
is fine.
behind like Charlotte's.
yeah, I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll agree to that.
Alright.
Spaz.
So,
When Sage Vivian's gonna be in every defense, she's gonna be mandatory.
Yeah.
Okay, dude.
When, not if, when.
Maybe next year when Sage Vivian gets her buff, so she's actually has like good AI.
She's a unit, yeah.
so Spaz, did he ever
The-
reach
in-
any of these?
Oof.
Giga MLM.
This guy's in the white here, exactly where he belongs, bro. This guy is...
Just asking. Just
He's like mandatory in preseason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mandatory. Yeah, I want to say.
We're going to do that in like 2 months, a mandatory preseason tier list.
Oh, it isn't cut.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I would
This is
still
gonna be a
argue
really
she's
hard
very
one.
I think
useful.
she's a very useful unit right now.
Okay, I was gonna go with situational.
I
Deadly?
think situational next SSB.
Yeah, exactly.
I
This
mean,
unit
Actually,
dropped
yeah.
off.
Actually, yeah. If we put SSB in situational, then she kind
So
of
what
belongs
caused
with
it to
that.
drop off? Like Shu or
Chooks is pretty good, yeah.
AOE and counters in general. Like she
yeah.
isn't just safe enough just by being like invisible.
You can't test 3 anything. Shu is there and she already like put
Interesting
stuff.
how last meta she was I feel like a mandatory unit.
I mean, you'll have
Same
really,
reason
You'll have
Flurry
really
Young
great
thing was
some
just too good.
things.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I guess if Stanny is situational, then Ida should be too.
Damn.
Because I would put Stanny in very useful. She kind of does something that no one else does.
But
I feel
are
similar,
we
but
using
like
her for that? Like realistically, how many people have actually used her? Like whenever I propose a Stanny, someone's gonna say, "Why not just use Wai Young?" And I'm like, "Okay, you're right."
it is a fair question, to be honest.
Hwayoung's mandatory unit right now. She's like
I don't think there's a discussion there that she's on the mandatory list, right? Often.
Because like the top 3 in situation are all like really good. They just fell off a bit this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, we are going for this season right now, like this very moment of the season.
sure.
So.
Tomaka is then back in the day unit.
I would,
No.
She was amazing for killing Tesurans.
I know she was back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh
Back in the
yeah,
day.
yeah. Back in the day, for sure. It's
Definitely
okay.
back in the day.
It's also on the Melissa tier.
Melissa tier?
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah.
She did something
So,
sometimes.
Melissa tier is basically the cutoff here, right?
Yeah, that's exactly where she belongs.
So,
I agree.
Tywin.
Next to Flan.
What?
So I think
No one
this is
talks
a
about
why
Tywin
for us
anymore.
now.
He's gone. He's gone, dude.
Did you guys know that when TL1 started, the only thing Baylor did was wear buzzer Tywin cleaves?
I mean, wasn't it back in the day the white comp to use? Nothing.
Wasn't that like the best comp? Like into
Yeah.
any
Into Ludwig or something?
Yeah, exactly. Ludwig was his last year. He did Rage Ludwig. That shit was just insane. It was also really weird because back then when I was really competitive in trying to making defenses, I made defenses and he just went in. I'm gonna do my comp and he's gonna go bazaar Tywin and just cleave me. I'm gonna. This is not a defense test. Every time he just bazaar cleaved my defense.
Shout out Baylor, the most simplistic mind in tier 1.
I mean, if it works, why not?
And then he tells me this defense doesn't work. Yeah, of course it doesn't work.
Alright, so Wildred. Does he
Wildred.
have a point? I know Echo always wants to push him, but
No.
There's no point in Wildred. I feel
No.
like just
right?
Even if you have like max imprint,
He's literally the why, right? Like
Yeah.
there is
sure,
fire
but why?
unit there who you need to finish and he can.
oh,
Sage's
Violet.
kind of better.
What do you
than
think about
Mildred.
Violet? Does he still
Very-
very useful?
Very useful. I'm gonna say.
Very
Yeah,
useful right
very
now.
useful.
Right next to Apo, on the right side of Apo.
I think that's
Because of
fine.
the emergence of Shu, I think Violet's very useful.
No, we also use it into like fire AoE. It's totally fine. This
Yeah.
unit's just very good.
It's kind of funny in what kind of codes we actually put him, so I think that's fine. I don't remember whether anyone actually used Vivian for offense. I just
I
know
remember
Snowman
it's-
used him for the weird defense thing.
It's MLM. There's that one comp where you have her hold book, and she dies so high young.
I
He
mean,
did it.
It's
But
the
that-
one-time
but-
usage per guild
but
war.
Okay,
then that's back in the day, if anything, right?
There's one comp that she's really mandatory in.
He did it into
Benji.
Parabellum.
Banshee 13 is gonna say.
No, didn't you propose that one comp, Red, against Para that one time? Where we like really struggled? And...
It's a back in the day unit at best.
I think
Yeah,
back in
there
the
you
day is fine. Like, above these weirdos, but like not really in the actual back in the day tier.
Like Braver used to use it a lot, so this is fair spot.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean, like, I remember.
Okay, you can. The funny thing is, the next character already starts with
Why
the
is
letter
this
that's in the tier, right? That's the Y tier for YUV.
Why is she even here?
Look,
Yeah,
I did remove all characters beforehand, okay? Gonna leave some discussion, I mean, kind of still some left, but
We only discussed for 1 hour so far, yeah.
yeah. I mean, that's kind of normal for us, to be honest. So, okay.
This is like half a Guild War match, yeah.
It's okay, this...
Oh, I don't.
Okay, she's in situational as well, right?
Yeah.
She was mandatory,
She was very
and I think she's in
high up.
situational right below is Beam.
I agree.
Because she's the best Fire Soul Weaver. If you build her on Rest build, she's really good into Para
She's
still.
like the only Fire Soul Weaver if we go by
Next
that.
ML haste, like.
Okay,
I
and
think
MLA is
she's
also
still
fine.
very useful. Like she's a Soul Weaver with the highest like healing output.
I'm totally fine with that as well. I love Arcades.
But if Acades is a very useful unit, I think Spectre Tenebri is also a very
I
useful
feel
unit.
like if Arcadis gets very useful, then we kind of just push the other three up again. Because
I guess situation was getting crowded.
yeah,
Of
I
course.
mean we can split it off afterwards, right? If like situation is like far too massive. So like,
Don't
Okay,
worry,
but-
the next unit that are coming are not situational at all. It's gonna be fine. The next 10 units, you can just put them all into the white here.
yeah,
Just
actually,
speed it
why
up.
do I still have this
Wait,
guy?
what about my
The
guy?
Angelica is MLM.
I think so.
I think
It's
MLM
the
is
Kulu's
fine.
MLM.
I think Angelica's totally fine for MLM because I push on myself for the MLM. So.
Okay.
Put her above Shudo. I feel like she's
Yeah, she's better than
Oh,
Shu.
yeah, yeah.
Also,
She-
best leave SWAT in this list.
She's like the unit that you use when
Wait,
crowd
I'm
died.
pretty sure. No, wait. It only goes to 3
It's
stars.
not
I
died
don't
or
have
like
2
using
stars
another round crow. And you needed to like, water base.
So,
Green Armin, MLM, TM.
Wait, Acid's MLM. I cleaved him with him last season.
Yeah, but no, that's terrible.
He's still the best
Back in the
speed
day?
contest
and
cleave unit.
I'm fine with back in the day. MLM?
But
Right
only if you
now?
ban the defense unit, the fastest one.
Okay.
So, Armin.
One time we used.
I
Oh,
think
I
Green
hate
Armin is honestly back in the day unit. I don't know.
Who? Green Armin used to be a really good unit. Then he went to Oblivion, and now he's an MLM unit for me.
I think MLM is fine right now.
Because there was this one guild at the start of the season where we used him into the top
Yeah, I
4,
remember.
and that was just insane. But it's basically like Aria, but even worse.
Yeah.
I guess.
Alright. Alots.
Okay.
Situational?
Hot take.
MLM.
Next plan, like.
I
Next
think
of line, he's the same
I
thing.
think Alots is. When Alots works, he's really good, though. I don't know.
I mean, situational is that basically, right? For a lot of these units.
Alots and Flan are basically the same unit, just one holds book and the other one gives
More
you more
damage.
damage.
I feel like there should be a category for like pushers because when they work, like you like set everything up, it's a guaranteed win every time. It's I
Okay,
guess
we
situational
don't
work.
have a cleaved here, but
Yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of hard for us to do all of this. Like, we have a lot of categories. So,
like
Bromance.
Alots, Flan, Ida, Opsig are all really good for follow up.
Yeah.
Like they can be like mandatory units in situations, right? Like very useful.
Let me decrowd situational for now. Maybe we put them back down. But
Whoa.
I just want to decrowd situational for now. Maybe we just push them down later again.
Wow. I'm not looking for 10 seconds, and now everyone's very useful.
I just push them back up if we say.
Okay,
that
Abtravi, I'm gonna
everyone
trust you to put a lot of the units that are coming now into the white here by yourself.
Yeah, I think you should do it yourself real fast.
At least the next 5, 6, 7, 8, the 9 units until Crozet, you can all put them into the white here. Anyone
I
disagree?
mean, isn't this bad?
Sedom.
Bad or MLM?
No, not like this.
Sedum's banned. That's true, actually. I used to ban this unit because Baylor used to use it all the time.
No, CZ's MLM.
Yeah,
100%
CC is English
MLM.
MLM.
Yeah, CC's MLM. He's dead. This unit's just dead.
I mean, technically, like.
Sedom's really good when you build their ER.
What my guy is saying is true though. Alots can push 100% unlike Flan if you think about it.
Mm.
Okay, but
If your
what
unit is
units are you
minus
pushing
50
that are base
speed,
speed?
Luna.
But even Luna, you can push her with like Emilia.
Yeah.
So she's not really built base speed all the time.
Alright.
I guess
So, does BBK reach MLM for us?
BBK is banned.
this is a banned unit for sure.
I wasn't sure.
This
I
unit's
wouldn't
horrible.
even use her. Like, why would you use BBK? It's like, why?
Well. Wait, I know that one is banned. So, Sid.
Sid, Armin's banned. Yeah.
This unit's banned for sure. These units are awful.
I think Sid is not
I think he's
bad.
situational. He's just a worse watcher.
No, there's okay. You
Situation
can't say
is
situation
fine.
when only you use it, right? It's
I
not
think
not
situation
possible.
is a bit high for Sid.
This unit's an MLM.
I would
Okay,
give
there's
it
Put in
MLM.
Y.
There's a lot of units in situational that only I use.
Yeah, but I would if you would suggest them to other people, I wouldn't be sad. But if
Like most of
amount
the
of people are
situation
built,
right
yeah.
now is something someone else would at least consider using.
yeah,
Sid
They
is
put him in
not
MLM at least.
something-
He's
MLM is
speeder.
okay.
Yeah.
MLM is fine.
Fine.
Yeah, no.
So technically the next unit also MLM.
This is MLM for
He
me.
is. Yeah, he is MLM.
He's crowd replacement.
Yeah,
Put him
What?
right next to
what.
Angelica.
He's
Put him
Next
right
to
next to
Angelica, I
Angelica.
guess then.
Oh no!
He's not that high.
What? This unit is terrible.
What? Yeah.
People use him with like DC,
Okay,
Momo, Crozet.
people have replaced Rosette with Rose.
Yeah,
Rose.
that's
Unit is
true. Rose is
terrible.
a new one. If anything, he would be back in the day now.
But back in the day, this guy needs to go back to the lobby and sit there.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Don't be so mean.
This unit survived on 13 unit. Go away. Perfect.
So,
Alright, for the next unit, I want to see what your opinion is, Akra.
Yeah, Octravi, this is your. I'm not gonna say MLM, but this is your unit.
I mean, it is my MLM. Okay, so back in the day, I would have said mandatory. Obviously, it's far away from that now. I actually feel like I would have put her into situational, but I feel like she could go back into useful soonish because I feel like she's getting more use.
Ika's
this,
here to say that she's better than Doris.
this unit, right? That's my take. This unit is very good, but it's not very useful at the moment. With the new artifact coming up from Charlotte, we might be moving her up or down and maybe changing her build. But I think currently what she does is being replaced by Acades and Hand Guy, like the unbuffable stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there's not that many dark units to bait where you don't want to use Selena or Doris. So I think this unit is just situational, but she's really good in situational.
Alright, so we put her in like this? Further down, higher?
I'd put her.
I think above Solitary. Yeah.
I mean,
No, she's better than that. She's better than Lilibet for sure as well. Yeah, this is for me. This
like,
is
I think
fine.
that's fine, right? Like,
I think he's worse than Opsig, but better than Delibet. This might.
Okay, that's also fine.
yeah, I can accept that.
Oh, our spirit animal is coming next.
Well,
Back in the days.
He's-
Back in the days.
This is Shino at home.
ultra
Yeah.
high tier back in
Just
the
like
day.
Tapa back in the
This
day.
is the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
He's
top,
the man.
He's the literal
Back in
top
the-
dog here. Top dog.
Uh,
Oh wait, I forgot her.
okay, just ignore these units. Don't even put them anywhere.
Yeah.
Just ignore them.
Alright, so
Lot.
you guys discuss.
Meru is Aras at home. I use her a lot.
You guys discuss Meru while I put some other guys in there.
Okay.
She's like the best holy sack replacement in the game.
I know why you're trying to say it, but I think she's MLM.
Yeah, that's an MLM.
Best.
Not having holy sack is MLM.
Like MLM is probably not like it's not really bad, but
I
like
think
you could use something else.
she's a good MLM though. I'd put her behind TC honestly. Like
Yeah,
Okay, at least put her like top of MLM. I use her so much last
she's
season.
better than Iceria. There's no one in the MLM tier that's better than her except for Mate maybe.
no. If we're talking about the current meta, I think the Assyria MLM is probably the strongest.
But
Next
yeah,
to Assyria.
I
Both-
guess
both
it
them
would be
work
like
for me.
this.
But
Sure.
what do you still need Mercedes for in this current meta?
don't have holy sack. Go ahead.
But, like,
You
you'll,
bait
see-
Para and hold book, and she can die once.
Hmm. Okay,
Wow.
sure.
Basically takes a RAS spot.
Yeah.
So
So, Lot, back in the day? For the double?
What? Oh, the double lot
For
Surmia
double
comp. This is
lots.
back in the day
It's
unit.
back in the
Yeah.
day, obviously.
great.
No, actually.
Worse than
Let's say
Silverblade.
Alright.
This unit's
So-
awful as well.
Whoa, I'm for situational.
Yeah.
I agree.
I just don't know where.
I think she's like bottom of the barrel situational, but like
Yeah,
she's
she's like above A-lots for me and better worse than Landy.
yeah, somewhere around
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, there's not many times you use her anymore because we used to color bait Wayang with her basically, and that's not that mandatory
Yeah,
anymore.
true. I mean, we literally have the real color bait now, so you usually don't need it.
Kali.
Shuri, back in the day?
Fire Shuri is a back in the day unit, yeah.
Not really. He's still the highest speed imprint, unless you want to
Okay,
use
but
Silk.
like...
No one uses it. These in the season, and Edda cleaves better, right?
I think he's a pretty strong cleave unit though.
He's used in Eda Cleave, like if you need the bigger
Sure.
imprint and you don't need more
Okay,
damage.
so MLM?
Eminem.
Situational would
Cleave is some
He's like similar to Sid. Speed imprints are all good.
Cool.
Oh,
yeah.
There should
Oh,
be
yeah.
speed
Now we
imprint,
get a good unit again. Sin-
Tempest Surin. Oh no.
I think Sinji's mandatory.
I'm totally
Yeah.
for mandatory.
Yeah.
I think Sinji is
It's
actually
the last
second.
in the mandatory.
No, I think she's actually one of the better mandatory units. So.
There's only like 4, so where would you put him?
I mean, we don't have that much choice right now yet, so...
I'd put her ahead of Verona, honestly.
How about we just put the units in the mandatory tier there and then we sort them later? I think that's better.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like we're starting to scare like 300 effectiveness Silelia. She's gonna little bit fall off. Trying to play around that.
I get
Just,
that, but
just get more ER, easy.
Exactly.
Sure. Let me get my 300 ER without
sure,
bashing.
Alright.
Oof,
Did we
Sharon.
used to use 2 in offense? I don't remember.
Yeah, the Suicide Comp with RB, TCZ, and Tempest Surin is a back in the day unit.
Okay.
that was
That's a back in the day unit for
that
sure.
was a good damn comp.
Yeah.
That was basically
It was
the same
simple.
time
You
with
went
Wabi,
in,
right?
they went, you went, and they died. That was perfect.
So it was basically the time with Wabi.
Put her at, why is Jug so high up? What is Jugs doing here? Put Jugs in the
Just
back.
cleave it, Ale.
Jux was high
Hey,
up
Jax
in
was
the
banned in
second
tier 1, right? I'm not gonna say this unit is terrible. This was banned. This unit is awful. It's the worst.
Shut up.
But that was the only way, like in all times, to cleave it. Like,
No one
Yeah,
cleaved in tier 1, never. This unit was never used except for by Mio, and Mio always did it when I didn't look.
So it was back in the day.
True. Alright, Crows it.
Very useful for me.
Very
I think
useful.
he's on the top of situational right now.
Same.
Ares
Also
took
works.
his- Ares took
next
his
to
job.
Basar or something.
He's only used of Celine, so just put Celine next to him.
Watch
No,
out.
you sometimes use different teams.
Watch your
Celine-
situ-
Celine
Yeah, we
is higher
used them
than
to tank the Sililius Rylet Kawazu team, for example, as well. Like, there's a lot of times where 40% damage reduction is just very good.
Okay, I think Watcher's mandatory.
Yeah, I think so too.
Manager.
You think Watcher's a
Yeah,
man?
Watch is the best nuke in the game. After Voyang, maybe, but
I would say after Wayang.
I feel like Watcher fell off a little bit because of Snow Crystal.
But he's still so flexible. Like he's both speed imprint and a nuker.
I
think
would put him
very
at like the
useful
top of very useful or mandatory. I'm fine with both.
I think he's mandatory. This unit is just very good.
I mean,
I feel
You
like
can't-
he fell off, but that's my.
I mean, we don't have that much left yet anymore, so we can.
He's above Violet, definitely.
Yeah, and then
You can put him maybe next to Iravi, let's say.
next to Aravi is exactly where this guy should go as well, I think.
This guy, this is a big
Yeah.
adventurer.
Aras is not mandatory for me. And
I would say he's in very useful.
Yeah,
very
next to
useful.
Violet.
I put him
Below Violet, I think.
Yeah,
I put him next to Valencia behind Ro, but
That also works for me.
that's my.
I think it sounds better because I would give Ruel more than Aras. Now, because he was even more important when we didn't have Eula yet for that one bait thing, which we
Yeah.
MLM.
The Strays
know
comp?
about.
Oh, yeah.
But now it's like you don't do that anymore. You just don't.
You still can do like a
I mean,
follow-up.
yeah, but we just don't.
It's
Good
a
thing
really
about
safe
Ares
comp. It's
is
much
he was-
safer than what we do for scouting.
Yeah.
It's tracing, but you can't scout with
True.
strays because of Snow Crystal.
Like for the follow up, it's safe, but not for the scout. Alright. I feel like
This is
someone
like
used
next
that,
to
but I
the
don't
top in
remember.
the dog next.
Oh, sorry.
She's like back in the day next to the GP, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
She was
one
the
of
Like
only
that
way
was
to go
before
Violet.
Zahak, right? Like
She
that
got
was
buffed, then
before
Zahak came out, and then Voyang came out, and now what's this unit?
Yeah, she was the best counter to
Yeah.
Violet back in the day,
I think
and
that's
this
fine.
Crow, of course.
I
But
think
yeah.
that's fine. Alright, Momo. I would put her for mandatory. No, wait. Right now it's
No,
kind
no,
of
no.
questionable. I
Momo
think
for
she's
me
still
is very useful.
Next to Akatis.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Next to Achetes.
I think this.
Oh, this next guy is top
So,
tier MLM.
MLM, baby.
This guy's a
That's
really good
big
MLM.
right?
MLM.
Like, I mean,
Fire.
kind of late MLM. Like, not now
Wonder
anymore.
he's a bait.
He's a
was
bad
an
MLM,
MLM.
to be honest.
Isn't he back in the day, basically?
He's an MLM. I think if he works, then you can suggest him, and he's gonna go through the com check if you're smart, and that's good enough for the MLM team.
True. Alright. Actually, I don't need that though.
I think Doris
I mean,
next
that's
to
the
Iravi.
No, for me she's mandatory.
I would put on mandatory.
Really?
Oh,
I would put.
I think Doris isn't a
oh.
man. I think she's a very useful unit, to be honest, as well.
Like I don't think you can do it. I mean, you can obviously do it without her, but like you shouldn't. You just shouldn't go without the Doris in your
But,
core
like,
unit.
She's mandatory because Aravi exists.
Mandatory because Iravi, but Iravi is very
Celine
useful,
exists as
so
well.
it's kinda...
yeah, but and is it offense tier list? So she's, for me, she's a core unit. If you're looking at core units, this is a core
I
unit.
would definitely keep her.
I will deny every applicant that doesn't have Doris build.
I would keep her mandatory.
I will, my perspective changed.
So, Eaton, M&M.
Eden is this is Higa
And
bad. This unit's awful.
Higa used her once and never.
Once and lost and
Again.
we dropped.
Alright.
Right next to
Fury.
CR. Garbage.
Yeah.
Not banned, that's I think just why.
I think.
Lurie, I think is a back in the day or MLM unit at the moment.
I think it's
Back in the
M&M
day, it was
now.
previous season she was top
It's still
dog.
back in the day. Everything that wasn't used today is basically back in the day, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Next to LRK
yeah.
probably.
LRK, yeah, and the back in the day too.
No, not MLM. Back in the day.
In the stream delay, you know.
I wouldn't put her at the top. GP's definitely the top.
Yeah,
It's the
GP is the
top
best.
Yeah, that's why I moved it back down. So,
Yeah.
it's Gloomy Word, like,
It's Cleve unit.
Gloomy
He's
Rain.
next to Pavel.
Next to Pavel, yeah.
Okay, but why is Gloomy Rain better than Sid and Shuri? There's no way that's right.
because she's a book holder.
like she has a book. Like,
Yeah.
that's actually important here.
Yeah, I agree. Good one.
Until they release another speed imprint mage, then she's gonna be
Which they
situational.
Yeah, that's
probably
definitely
won't
gonna
ever
happen.
do.
Why is Madwig mandatory? This is Dark Succubus.
Nah, this Dark Succubus should not apply to Tier 1.
Weird though. Oh man, never mind.
His current usage is like out of
Bra-
this world.
Braver uses Hazel to give Gab to Hwayoung and Carrot.
Used.
I can't put that
And he,
back
it's
in the
it's
day.
important. It's important to use a level 50 Hazel for that. That's the most mandatory part.
Ah, shit, I forgot where I put her. Can't find her again.
What if you actually use a level 61?
Anyway.
It's too far gone.
Nilsa? Was she back in the day?
Why?
No, that unit's a white here.
Why?
You can put the other Momo skin there as well.
Because I like remember the Mercer, but I don't remember why I remember her.
While Moranzi gone, I think Carrot's back in the day unit.
Oof,
She's
really?
situational.
I
still.
would,
Situational
I
for
would
sure.
still go for
I used her literally today.
Yeah.
As the best option to scout this Lilius Merc Landy comp.
Oh.
She's better than Dor. Like
Also
she's
like for a
at
merit.
Landy tier.
Why Eaton banned? Well, his performance in tier 1
Let's ask
is
Higa.
like perfect, basically.
Okay, the next two units can go into white here, I think.
Oh yeah.
Because one's a dog and the other one's dog shit.
I think the next three can actually. Actually, is that Tarn or Royal Guard? Is
That
Tarn?
unit's banned. That unit is just banned here.
Panda.
I mean,
Like-
we had the discussion whether we.
Hear me out, he says. I blame Wolfen for getting Tarn or Royal
Exactly.
Yes, that is the reason why he's banned. I think he wouldn't be banned without that.
Guard. Feels
Exactly.
bad.
So PTSD. Okay, the next unit for me is a mandatory unit.
Ega tier.
I would be fine with
You got there.
I
Yeah.
think the was
Maybe-
a
Imagine it's
mandatory
bad,
unit
dude.
ahead of Sinji and Watcher, in my opinion.
We
Yeah,
need
that
a
could
new
be
emote. It's called Higa Chat.
Ahead of Sinji? Right.
I'd honestly.
We're
even
sorting the tier later, right? The mandatory
Yeah,
tier.
true, right. So stray
Okay.
is very useful or situational by now?
Very useful.
Situational.
I would say
Situational for me.
situational,
Next to the optics,
right?
Snow crystal problem?
Like it's literally the same problem for these two.
Yeah.
He fell off, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
So Emilia.
It's a mandatory unit.
Mandatory, 100% mandatory unit.
So
Ram.
Is
The
it
next unit is in the
MLM or
band tier
situational?
again.
Ram is banned.
MLM.
Banned.
No.
The next unit is MLM, but this
There
one's
was
banned.
like the
No,
flirt.
at minimum she's back in the day.
I'd put her MLM too, honestly.
Okay, MLM also works for me. MLM
I
works.
think MLM is the most.
The next unit
correct.
is also MLM. Trust
Yeah,
me.
exactly.
Next unit is mandatory.
The next unit is very useful.
The thing what she does is like very unique, but she takes away a slot in your team for that. That's kind of weird. If you have
Hey,
the
guys.
perfect team,
Yeah,
then sure.
MLM. It was my
Oh.
MLM.
Don't let the red rank Christy, but we're all ranking your MLM. Sorry.
Okay, so Caesarea mandatory in preseason next to Spez.
Yeah. Okay, so where's Spez
They're
again?
even going together.
Right here.
Just went in wine.
There's a well.
Yeah, the white here where they belong. Same as
Wouldn't she
closer.
be banned? Because she is a good unit.
Yeah, she's a band. Put her in band here. I think band is Mike, right?
I mean, but Caesarea would be banned, but nobody actually even like suggested that, right?
I
Like,
mean, the
banned
people
are
that
those
tried
units
got shut
who were
down.
used and
Every single
suggested.
guild war I'm suggesting her, and every single time Day is like, okay, I'm gonna close my eyes and do whatever you want.
Banned then.
Banned for sure, yeah. This unit's banned. I'm just doing it to rile Day up though.
Do we?
Sure.
Does anyone use
If that
close on
kills you.
offense?
No, a closer shot is garbage.
I will be using him. I just built him.
In white here, where he belongs.
AOL.
AOL, I think, is a situational pick.
Yeah.
Fictional.
Yeah, I agree.
Once you have the information, you can really like abuse AOL. She's like really good at the situations.
So
I put her ahead of Solitario actually.
Yeah, Solitario is not better than her.
Yep. There we go.
I haven't
Feels
used
bad,
her
man.
at all. My bad.
So this
Alright.
is
I would put
you're not
Phyllis
gonna
into
be happy about
mandatory.
next unit rating.
I know exactly where next unit goes. Exactly where Adoris went.
I
there.
think this
Yeah.
is very clear.
This unit's insane. This unit's just insane.
Valiant. Is... Oh, what was it?
Why?
She's MLM to be honest.
No, she's white here. This unit's just non-existent often.
I remember when used Valiant on offense.
Yeah, it was Faith.
Yeah. So when is basically where
Ran is MLM tier.
MLM?
For
I
me.
feel
I would
feel
have
Ron-
said it's
Ron
with
are
the
both in
cleave.
the same
Wouldn't
category.
he go like next to Ida because he enabled us?
Yeah,
I
I
think
would say
useful unit.
Ida actually.
I would put him next to Alot's.
I
Yeah.
would have stuck
Fine.
him here, like in
No.
these things.
Okay, I think put Para next to Ida, but Ran next to those two.
But if you say that, why pair over Ran if they like have similar jobs, kind of? The tech buff?
Attack buff to the third unit.
Escort's also
and
pretty good.
Escort, yeah.
Okay, so
Escort protects you from like friends, pretty much.
So
Jeez.
where do we put one?
I'm not a cleaver, so I don't know.
Situational.
Next ALOT's probably.
Yeah.
Maybe better than ALOT.
Better than A-Lots for sure, but then that's it.
Or put him next to Pavlo, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take-
that sounds fine actually.
Yeah, I agree.
Next to Pavel, between Bazaar and Pavel, this is really good.
Yeah.
Because he does the same as Bazaar, quote unquote.
Alright, so
Next unit.
we move.
Okay, hot take, this unit's situation is fuck.
Yes.
If you run out of like DPSs who like ignore the
If-
defense you use.
If you find a defense where someone has ran but doesn't have Meru because they're like handicapped or something, then this unit's really good.
I think he's a bad unit now because everyone runs Ran and Mara together.
Yeah, it depends on what we're facing, but I think he's definitely
It's what they said. He's like a true damage nuker that you can use instead of like Watcher or Hyang.
But like, he's the most MLM out of all of them. So
When you
So
run out
situational.
of them, like in one team you need like Huayang, in other you need Watcher, two nukers, so you put Watcher in him. You put him.
yeah, that happened definitely.
It
Happens
happens
sometimes.
because you need Hyang in both teams a lot.
Is this always this is what happens when I go to sleep and people are drawing?
No.
Okay, just wondering.
I don't think anyone has drawn with Rimuru this season.
Okay. Just wondering.
I would rather question how many people actually use Rimuru in the season right now. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So-
Situation is
Did,
fine
like
though.
previously. Like,
Milam,
I would
pretty
say
situational too.
situational.
I think
Yeah.
Milan is a hive situational pick.
I would actually also say she's
I think she's
She could be
right
here,
below
right?
Secret.
below Secret.
I think she's
I
above
would actually
Secret.
say above
Okay,
those
sure,
two.
go in.
I would say this would make more sense. Oh wait.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now we
People
go
People are
for
getting
unit
triggered
I-
again because I'm calling Armin a he.
Wait, who?
I'm just gonna say people, but there's multiple DMs and there's some message in general chat, so.
Celine, very useful.
I
Yeah, this
just-
is a very useful unit, I agree. But she's not mandatory
I
at
think
all.
Selena's pretty. I think
next
Selena's
to
better.
Aras, I think.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
have her. That's
they
why I
two,
can't
like,
say
go
anything.
really well together
I agree
now.
with those two. I think she's behind Eras though. Behind Eras.
Yeah, Era is just better for a lot of more things.
Yeah. Eras is
Alright.
probably the second best, or he's the third best tank in the game right now, or like for Guild Wars. Yeah.
I mean, we have quite some tanks. up
Technically,
here.
yeah.
Like Qual, Pillars.
Oh, boy.
Alright. Zahak.
Situational.
Situation.
No, this guy's an MLM for me.
Really?
The situation literally came up on Wednesday.
Sure, but there was just no other way to safely scout because we MLM'd ourselves.
I think once you start seeing more,
We talked for hours, maybe, and MLM'd ourselves into
Once
that.
we see more of
we
that.
see more Snow Crystal, then he becomes more situational.
I'd be fine with bottom situational for now. For literally
Yeah.
right
Go
now.
on.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Alright.
Celilius is ban.
She might become good if it's Charlotte.
Yeah. No, it's okay. This unit's in the MLM tier, I think, right?
So, Para.
It's Hin MLM.
Hint here,
Hin
next to Emeru.
I put Hera ahead of Ida, honestly.
Sure.
Friendship?
Yeah.
Friendship
Yeah.
acquired.
Doesn't matter, I think these two always goes together.
And we have
Yeah.
some good units left.
Lermia is the
Lionheart.
top of very useful in my opinion.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
next to Ravi.
Look, I would put her in mandatory if I had her, basically.
I
Because then I
I
would
don't
say
feel it's mandatory,
her.
but it's really, really
She's
good.
very, very useful, but I wouldn't
peasants
say you
go. No, she's worse than Aravi for me.
Yeah.
It's
Aravi is
She's
better.
top, she's top, but very useful.
No, I
She's-
think Apoc's the top of very useful.
Yeah.
I'm not sure between those two.
There was a guild war on Monday where I think we played against. There was a Wednesday when we played against Para, where I had to where I basically slotted into an anti-cleave team, and the run cleaned basically out my whole team, and the Aravi saved. There's like one way you can use her, and the other way is a bruiser team. I think
Oh,
she's
right,
just
I
way too
remember
versatile. Whereas still Lermia is only good into like the counter-attacking units, which is like Celilius and Bellion. This is where we could bring her for sure, and maybe Meru.
I'm fine with that.
I think she's really good though. Yeah.
I think those two are almost.
I had
The next one's gonna be a difficult one. Gonna
I
have a lot
think-
of discussions.
So-
Okay, hot take. I think Hwayong is better than Crow right now in the game. That's a good war offense.
That's a big hot take.
He's not wrong though. It's the
I
problem.
think he's the best unit in Guild War offense in the game.
I
right
I
now.
would definitely have a mandatory in my like.
Yeah, we
Okay,
can also
that's
like,
not a question though. It's
Like,
whether she's like
because we
better
have
than
the-
Crow.
We have the basically other
Okay,
one shot
We'll rank,
here, so
we'll rank it afterwards, sure, but
yeah.
I think she's the best
We are
unit.
going to put that first. So, Red, go and make it. Go and
okay,
make
this
your
unit is
speech.
this unit is the epitome of an MLM.
Top of MLM right now.
Yeah, this is the hottest
New
MLM that's
hottest
got at the
MLM.
moment. Brought to you by me.
Okay.
So I
So
don't
MLM
think
top.
there's much question here, right?
Okay, no, Yula for me is very okay. It's very useful, right?
Oh, you really think she's only very useful?
I would put. I mean, she's literally Green Crow.
I
She's-
think she's mandatory until Hwayong gonna stay.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
And-
mandatory.
we're taking right now, so she is mandatory.
Okay, go ahead. I'm fine.
Like,
Bottom of mandatory.
On Friday, I used Yoha as an Aureus Knight, and she worked.
Yeah.
Like basically Crow,
Yeah,
but green.
Green Crow, literally.
Horse.
Alright, so this is basically.
Prediction
know.
time.
Those threes are Well.
These three are all exactly when. Okay, this for the first unit is kind of unexplored, so in the Y tier for me.
Prediction time.
All three is kinda unexplored.
Okay, what's your guys? We can't know about the summer break Charlotte one, but the other two, what do you guys think?
I don't
The Poison
think
Girl.
she will be. I don't think
Poison
we
Girl
will
is in the Y tier for me.
I think Sharoon on Guild War defense can be really strong. She shuts down like any unit with like her control.
You're just gonna get kicked in the
I
face.
would also say like Super Young just says hello to her.
Because if she venoms you, you cannot S3.
But you need to build her fast.
I imagine if there was a mandatory unit that was dark and would solve that problem.
No, because Kavrik also gets venomed and he gets his skill reset.
Wait, isn't that on the S1?
Yes, the S1 that's
on
a
the
reset.
S1, the S3 isn't. The S3
And she
is,
will open with
is something else.
Is your passive the one that increases?
No, the
As
S1
was
is the
one.
problem.
It's the S1 passive, basically.
S1
Okay.
extra effect. So this Sharoon for me is a Y tier unit, and
I mean,
Vivian
their
for me
effect is
is
useless.
S3
Anyways.
basically does nothing on defense and after
So
that
she's
she's gonna
useless.
get kicked.
Yeah,
God damn.
cool. And she will be super strong after the buff, right? That's how it works.
I think Silvan Sage is MLM. It's
At
gonna
the
be
current...
Yeah, this unit
yeah.
is not an MLM. This unit is just because everyone pulled her. People wanted to be good, but she's really terrible at the
Someone's gonna
moment.
pick something MLM for her.
If you look at all the good light baits that we have in the higher tiers, this unit will never see play as that. And as a damage dealer, are you asking people to put S10 on defense because that's what she's good at? And if that's true, are you just going to add active it? This unit's terrible.
Wait, so you know how like Sage Bao was used to tank Rylet and hold book? Vivian can do that.
Wow.
And she also has a crit damage buff. Wow, this makes her instant mandatory for me.
MLM baby, right next to Sage.
I mean, she hasn't quite reached the MLM yet, right? Because she needs to be suggested for that.
It's a prediction.
It's
Yeah,
for
true.
pre-season we're gonna test her limit.
Fine. Alright, so what do you guys think about the unreleased unit?
I don't know. She has nothing. Like I don't even know her skills. So.
Her artifact's pretty good.
Her artifact
They
is
leaked
nice.
her skills.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she's like she gets a guaranteed dual attack buff, which is kind of insane.
But she only gets it after 4 turns from your team.
She might like bring Civilians into offense as option.
Yeah, she's really good with double turn units.
Yeah.
I think she's gonna be situational as like a good blue DPS.
Yeah, but if she's gonna be better than Shu, I don't know. Even in offense, I don't know.
She's like less RNG than Shu.
Okay, great. But she's also less tanky, right?
I could imagine her being MLM.
She's attack scaling, so
She's attack scaling, so she's never gonna be like as good as Shu. One of the things that I look for in a unit when I wanna bring a blue DPS is that they're gonna survive some random hit I can't predict. And I'm not sure if this unit can do it, but I haven't really looked into it.
It's the saying in chat that if she can ramp up her S1 from dual attacks, she could be really good.
She's also a knight, so she can hold Holy Sack.
Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
By the way, why is R at the top of MLM?
Because the MLMs are ranked by a scale of
Respecting
hotness
it.
in all regards, right?
Hotness, okay.
And after this, they're nerfing her boobs, she's gonna go into the mandatory team.
But is
Look at Red's attacks.
okay.
I mean, I can move her around, but I feel like she's
If we're being realistic here,
our
I think
biggest
R is,
MLM right now.
I think R is behind Berseria in terms of MLM quality.
Did you see how many people 6-starred Arya on Wednesday?
Wait, what?
I actually think she has very high MLM power right now.
Yeah.
Syria is like the best MLM as DC right now, no?
I don't see it.
I think I see her as better than Arya. Like realistically, even I have to admit that
I
as an
think
MLM.
I think that's fine.
DC Syria is OP, dude.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like, you know.
Okay, are we actually done building this tier list in only 1 hour and 41 minutes?
Dark says Bryce here.
I mean, we still have to sort mandatory.
It's only up there because you're the only one that uses it, and you haven't lost yet. So.
All right, so mandatory shuffling.
Hwyong top, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really feel Hwyong is the very best unit in Guild War offense. She counters everything.
Yeah, for all kinda need to be the Rimuru or like Celine or
So,
something green.
so would Yula be right next to Crow?
No.
No, Yula's exactly where she needs to be, I think.
Yulha loses when Hwyong leaves. Crowd will always be kind of there.
Like they can both work as an Aureus holder, but Crow is a better Aureus holder because of death buff.
And yeah,
What Yula does is basically invalidate any single target fire damage dealer that doesn't have also a debuff like Silence and doesn't do enough damage to self cleanse. Or like skill cooldown reduction like Fire Caverick. Everyone who do that doesn't have that. It's gonna get invalidated by her. That's why she's good. But I don't think she's gonna be mandatory. She's gonna be in the very useful tier in the future. When Wayang is gonna be a bit less prominent and even.
I think her kit is just too selfish on
Yeah.
Yulha.
Yeah, maybe.
It just doesn't work. In,
Maybe
like,
we're
low
gonna buff
situations.
her somehow.
I think what could be interesting
because-
is if her S1 was AoE and she would provoke everyone to attack her. That could be more interesting.
That would be really broken.
I mean, you mean the Senya
Or you
buff?
might take too much damage.
The Senya buff.
It's weird that it's a redirect provoke, but she's usually going to be highest HP on the team.
I really want to know why it's redirect. I don't get that one. It's like, do they just want to make a new debuff for
Smog
once?
Well, if she has the most HP, doesn't matter. A direct or normal problem.
Did they expect people to bring like Yuha DC and you like redirect into DC?
But why would you, right? Oh man. I would put Pillis further up though.
I think Palis, Rana, and Doris all are like the same. Like they all
Like,
belong
I feel
together.
like this is the very specific tank core that we know.
Yeah, there's a very strong tank core. And, like, they all-
You can see this Tina in situational.
Wait, what? What do you say?
The Stina
He was
Stina.
asking about this Tina.
Yeah, the Stina's in situational.
So, are we fine with this mandatory, or do we need to shuffle something?
Emilia should be higher.
I think Rana's better than Pitless.
I agree, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can accept that. Yeah, sure.
But Pills and Doris are kind of like.
Pitless and Doris are very similar. I think DC is better than Pitless. And Doris is also better than Pitless. But I think that's it. It's a
I
shuffling.
would put Emilia after DC.
I
Yeah.
think so too. I think Watcher's like at the bottom was Yulha in terms of mandatory units.
Yeah, I agree. And Sinji is
Senji's really strong, and to see Lilius if it's not high F. But
also really strong to slow comms.
yeah, that's true.
I like an auto win. Double attack buff and double nuke win.
But I feel like she's more auto win when there's.
After Scout,
like, after
Mercedes
Scout,
kills
yeah.
with her.
So that's why she's not super mandatory.
I think the sorting works for me.
I
Yeah.
think this makes sense. Are we so mandatory and very useful are fine like this? Because I mean those are the
Yeah.
important ones, right?
Okay. I'm
think
gonna
that-
say that after looking at the very useful list again, I think I would put Valencia at the bottom of SSB and put the healers like 2 spots higher by that.
But yeah, that's kind of true. The healers are just too strong, like Amom and the Katie's.
I think I would move Opsig and Strays up to very useful.
I feel it's the same.
Strays?
but they
No.
fall off.
I'm
They
not
did
sure
fall off.
about
The
that.
Snow Crystal is a problem. You can't scout with it anymore. If it's scouted, it's a really good unit. But I think if you go for very useful, there's gonna be units you can bring into basically anything unscouted as well, right?
And shouldn't SSB also not be very useful anymore this season? Because like,
Well, I said could be situational as well. Totally fine. I really don't like SSB into Shu. Like this is not my, and also into Wayang is kind of awkward.
yeah,
The only defense she beats is basically bad defenses.
I feel like last season she was. Actually, no, she wasn't even that good last season. The last season she was.
I
good.
mean, I'm kind of biased on that part.
Aria's
because I
better.
use her a lot. I use SSB a lot, so can't really,
Okay,
can't
you
really
think
say
she's
much
very
about
useful.
that.
Go ahead. I have a question. Who do you guys think would be the best unit in the last season? Because Emilia was
Oh.
definitely the best unit. I feel like Guild War offense last season.
It's
Last season?
very hard to say. What was the meta back then even?
See Lilius, Balian, Epoch.
So 2 seasons ago, what was the best unit?
Yeah.
Just look at Deadly's win rate.
I have like an idea in my head, but I don't want to see.
Wait, is 2 seasons ago like now the season where Deadly got 100% or
He
is
got
it the one
both.
before that?
Both seasons.
Wait, was it 2 seasons already? God,
Yeah,
but
I agree with
don't even
Baylor.
remember.
I agree with Baylor on the situation, honestly.
Pillis?
I think it was
Wait.
Crow that season because
Yeah.
that was a season that had like
Yeah.
a lot of Violet Ram Bellion, and then you could like Crow Horse and take out one of them without going through all the RNG.
Yeah, and Rimuru as well. It was very popular back then. I
Yeah.
think Crow was the best unit.
There was also a lot of Sea Lilius, Selene, and stuff, right?
It's the same argument we're having now, but now Wayang exists. The difference.
See, Lilius came out towards the end, like last couple of weeks of the season.
No, she came out 5 weeks before the end of the season, and Wayang came out 1 week before the end of the season. Else, Wayang would have been the best choice. But I think the whole season we used Crow like all the time. I have like 48 or 50 Crow attacks in that season, and it's like half the round. So I think like 5 attacks or something I didn't use Crow. That's how good he was.
So you think Crow still was the best that season? Or?
Yeah, he just got put to slot through by Wayang release. He was always the best unit.
Okay.
Yeah, well, okay, that's not right. I think 1 year ago there was 1 or 2 seasons where we barely used him, and then he came back
Yeah.
because we played a more aggressive playstyle.
Yeah.
So
Sage
my
back then was
my
really
unit
strong.
my unit sheet for that season was Crow. Wait, yeah, I think it was Crow, Watcher, Amelia most used.
Makes
That
sense.
sounds reasonable. I mean, Crow basically got a big fat return with Rimuru, right? Because before Rimuru, you could basically, and Meru, you could just cleave everything if you have the speed and damage. But
Violet also made him kind of come back, right?
yeah, like those 3 units where you just can't be sure you kill them, or doing the killing they kill you also, like those units just gave him a big raise in usage again.
Interesting.
Alright, so
Last season was Amelia for sure.
Okay, now we make a screenshot of the tier list and we post it
I
on
mean,
Reddit later.
there's literally export is I literally get a picture of that. I can post it in general.
Wait, why did it just do RAS running? What is
It's
this
mandatory.
Post it on Reddit so people are confused that like C. Lilius Ran are not at the top.
Where's Materia, guys?
This is the gold rank RTA tier list.
Oh yeah, this is. I think
So
this is very.
I'm just going to
list.
drop this real quick, so our tier list into the general chat. Wait, where is it? Alright, please tell me this works. I should be ready.
Damn.
Alright, we went through the tier list. Rather fast, actually. I almost feared that we would take long.
Like 2 hours.
Yeah, it's kind of fast.
Oh wow, 12 minutes short.
So, now that I have your full attention, you guys remember that I actually still have to do my tags, right?
Oh, another hour.
I don't know. Okay, like